Hello and welcome to tutorial 137, and in this tutorial I'm going to be demonstrating how to create a simple form with a combo box, and the subject matter I'm going to be using is based on quick tip 26, which was looking at determining whether a name was a valid name for the TradeStation color object. So what we've done is created a small form, and in this you can select a color, for example orange. That color is displayed here on the panel, and also the color is used in the application on the screen. Now this is just a simple moving average, and you can see that by changing the color here, the color is changed on the plotted dots, which is a very trivial example, but certainly something that you would probably think of other applications in your programming where you wish to have the user interact with the screen and change the color of an element based on whatever. As you see, if we just keep doing that, each time we change the color, we get a new color appearing. So what I'm going to do, I've started with quick tip 26 and created a new program called 137 Devel. So I'm just going to go through this and show you what changes I've done. So the first thing I'm going to do is, this program doesn't use the inputs because we're hard coding the available color names into the program. So we can get rid of this, and the vector, I'm going to change the name from square color to color. So I'm just going to say edit, replace square color with color spelt in the English way. And then having done that, what I want to do is, I'm not going to be adding the colors because we don't have those inputs. What I've done is already prepared this before. So what I'm going to do is just copy that in of all the names. Okay, so that's adding all those names to the vector. We're then going to leave most of the rest of the program as it was. We're going through the color vector, looping through that, and what we're going to do is just going to change these to make those little rectangles a little smaller. It's not really necessary for this program, and I'm just going to leave it in. What we don't need to do is verify whether the names are valid. It's going to delete that, and we add each time the rectangle. And what we need to do now is create a form, and the way we do that, we'll right click on the program, say add form, and we're going to add two things to this form. One is a combo box and the other is a panel. So let's just format those by moving them and rearranging them a little bit. Just resize the form, make that look neat. Then I'm going to click on the combo box, and in the properties, just going to do a couple of changes, one of which is we're going to change the name of the combo box to color box. Now this program won't be exactly the same as the one that's available for download, because some of the things that I'm doing are not strictly necessary for its operation, just to make sure that we do this as quickly as possible. I'm also not being particularly careful about adding comments, whereas I have added them in the actual program. Now one of the things we need is we need an event, and that is the selected index change. This is going to tell us when somebody has selected something in the combo box. And then the other thing I want to know is, just looking at the designer generated code, is how we set the color of the panel that we've created. If we look at panel, we see we've got some options down here, and we want panel dot back color. So I'm just going to copy that. And then when we do select one of the things we're going to do is we're going to change the back color. So we need to also add everything, all those values, to the combo box. So what I'm going to do is say right here, color box, and we're going to say add item, and the thing that we're going to add is the name. We're not adding the actual color, so what we want is this here, just a string like so. And so what we need to do is when that event occurs, we need to get the information from the color box. So we're going to say equals color dot from name. So we're going to be giving it a name, so we need to convert that into an actual color, and then the color from name is going to be the color box dot, we want the selected item, so we can go down here and find selected item, and then we need that to be a string. Okay, let's verify, see if everything's working so far. Okay, so far so good. Let me just turn off the original program and turn on the new one. And as you see, there is no form. So what we need to remember to do is to show the form, and we're going to do that up in the initialization area. We don't want to do it in the loop. We're going to do it right here. So we're going to go form one dot. Then we're going to look for show, and we have to put in a couple of brackets, verify that, and go back to the program, and there we have the form. Let's just check that the values are included. They are. And if we select one of those, indeed it changes the color of the panel. But what we also need to do is do the plot. To do that, we can just add that at the bottom of the program and say plot 1 average C for close over 20 bars. And I'm going to create an input for the color, and we're going to set that as a default. I'm going to say plot color, and let's go ahead and also create a variable for that. Now this needs to be intrabar persist because we change it in our event, and if we don't make it intrabar persist, the program doesn't remember the value, so it doesn't do anything. That probably doesn't make any sense because I haven't explained it yet, but let's just create it here. And what I'm trying to say is that when we change the color in the panel, we also want to change the plot color. So we do that here. We can say plot color equals, and then we want very similar syntax to this, but with one slight but important difference, because the plot statement's expecting a RGB value. So from name to RGB is the syntax. Let's just verify that and go back to the program. And I'm just going to double click on the program because I want to just change that to be a point and a dots. Let's just go back, clicking on the taskbar here. So let's change the color here, and yeah, the color's changing in the plot. And so on. So in the actual program, I've tidied this up a little bit and also created some comments to try and explain things a little better. And I hope you might find this useful. Thank you.